much where I keep all my purses. This one here is really special. If my house was on fire, I would take this one out of all of them.
Thing is as humbling as your daughter drawing on your $60,000 Birkin. Am I right?
Yeah. I couldn't even be mad at her because when I asked her, I was like, I wanted to see if she was going to tell me the truth. I was like, Coach, did you draw on mommy's purse?
Literally spent $60,000 on this purse. Look what my daughter did to my purse.
Our artisans, they need to do 4 years of training to be able to manufacture a Kelly bag. This that you've just seen, the perlage, you need to be very skilled and very, very good.
Those bags I cut open, just expensive, nothing special. But a few truly exceptional.
He started making his boots in China, and that is these boots right here. This is pretty much the Ugg boot that like most Americans will have in their house. I was very pissed off when I found out the truth because I grew up in Southern California. I remember being in elementary school when I would only see 2 people in the entire school wearing Ugg boots, and they were always the cool surfer kid.
So Hermès has put out a response to China, and they have like a video in a factory sort of showing people, trying to show that they're actually the ones who are making the bags in a factory somewhere in France.
Italy, made in China, or maybe made in Chile. Oh yeah, that should be a thing, by the way, because some brands get real creative when it comes to made in.
All of Hermès products are made in China. Towels are from Revered in Shandong. They also make products for Chanel and IKEA. Beddings are from Yue in Shandong. Men's shoes are from Shachi in Shandong. Tableware are from Gaochun in Jiangsu.
None of this jewelry on my arm is real. Don't love me because of no diamonds. Take all this. This bracelet right here look real as a... This shit was $23 on Amazon.
Speaking to this client here regarding selling her Birkin 30 Gris Etane, if I'm not wrong. Gris Etane is the color, and it's palladium hardware. The bag is in box fresh condition, but it's SUES stamp, which means it's a 2021 piece.
In a stunning blow to the world of luxury fashion, Hermès, the French icon long revered for its handcrafted prestige, has found itself in a maelstrom of controversy following revelations that up to 80% of its legendary Birkin and Kelly bags are actually manufactured in Chinese factories. This contradicts the image painstakingly cultivated over decades, an image of expert French artisans laboring in serene Parisian workshops. The scandal erupted when whistleblowers from contracted factories began leaking behind-the-scenes footage and documentation, revealing that most of the production process, from cutting leather to stitching, occurs in China. Only the final embellishments like buttons or logo stamps are applied in France, allowing Hermès to legally label the products made in France, a detail that has misled millions of consumers and shattered long-held assumptions about European luxury craftsmanship. These Chinese facilities weren't clandestinely producing knockoffs. They were officially contracted to create the real thing, but now find themselves under legal assault from Hermès, which is suing them for defamation and misuse of intellectual property. The lawsuits are widely seen as retaliatory and an attempt to silence those who expose the brand's hidden manufacturing practices, even though these factories were previously lauded for their precision and contribution to Hermès' supply chain. Adding explosive weight to the allegations is Tanner Leatherstein, a leather expert and social media influencer renowned for dissecting luxury bags to evaluate their true construction. Leatherstein, who has spent over $100,000 of his own money cutting into high-end products, revealed that a Birkin bag, marketed as the pinnacle of luxury, costs roughly $600 to produce, including high-quality leather and metal hardware. His forensic-level analysis unveiled that many of these bags feature materials no better than those found in affordable dupes, effectively nullifying the luxury claim. He was also the first to publicly expose other major brands like Chanel and Louis Vuitton for substituting real gold with cheap alternatives and using synthetic coatings instead of full-grain leather. These revelations have cast a harsh spotlight on how luxury brands exploit the aura of exclusivity while cutting corners in production, ultimately calling into question the astronomical price tags attached to these items. Leatherstein's credibility and in-depth knowledge have emboldened consumers and amplified the backlash against Hermès, as his evidence has sparked outrage and disbelief among loyal buyers who assumed they were paying for artisanal excellence. The Hermès debacle also peeled back the curtain on the broader luxury industry, revealing a common marketing trick employed by elite brands like Prada, Louis Vuitton, and Chanel. These brands manufacture nearly all components of their products in China, but assemble or attach a single piece, like a zipper or logo, in Europe to justify a Made in Italy or Made in France tag. This strategy manipulates consumer perception, preying on outdated biases that European manufacturing equates to superior quality. The illusion is powerful and pervasive, allowing brands to maintain high price points while drastically reducing production costs. It's a calculated game of optics, not authenticity. Consumers, conditioned by decades of branding, remain unaware that their $4,000 handbag shares a factory floor with a $300 knockoff. The integrity of these labels is now in question, and as more evidence surfaces, even the most loyal luxury buyers are beginning to feel duped. This practice doesn't just blur ethical lines, it shatters the trust that holds up the very concept of luxury.
Put the finishing touches on a Kelly, the most difficult bag to build. It starts with 30 distinct cuts of leather and can take 20 hours to complete, 4 hours for just the handle. There are no manuals or cheat sheets. Artisans rely on their training and muscle memory to make every bag.
Almost finished bags from China factories, back to their own factories, and just do the repackaging and logo installing, something like that.
It's the Chinese supplier behind product. Bags are from Siton Handbag in Dongguan City, Guangdong Province. It's a factory specializing in handbags for 54 years. And it produces 80% of the world luxury bags.
Unbox my latest Hermès bag with me. This is my first bag I got this year. I usually get one bag a year, and this is the one for this year. And I'm really excited about it.
You walk into Hermes and say, hey, I want to buy one of these. You know what they say to you? No, we don't have them. First of all, you have to be Hermes customers. You have to demonstrate that you like the brand. And then you can only buy one per year.
My first time shopping at Hermès, and let me tell you how it went. We got a lot of requests, do Hermès next. And that's why we're here in the Highland Park. I've spent over $100,000 of my own money dissecting luxury bags, cutting them open, analyzing every stitch, every layer. Why? Because I had to know what made those bags so expensive.
One of the driving forces behind this industry reckoning has been the viral spread of insider content on platforms like TikTok and YouTube. Videos showing actual Chinese artisans crafting bags, complete with time-stamped receipts and factory credentials, have gone viral, eroding the credibility of traditional luxury narratives. These clips show the full manufacturing process, from cutting leather to stitching handles, all done outside France. The authenticity of these videos, corroborated by figures like Tanner Leatherstein, has made it increasingly difficult for brands like Hermès to dismiss the revelations as misinformation. As a result, consumer sentiment is shifting rapidly. The once coveted mystique surrounding luxury bags is giving way to a more cynical understanding of brand manipulation, forcing the industry into crisis mode. What was once whispered within industry circles is now common knowledge, amplified by algorithms and shared by millions. The fallout has extended to the luxury resale market, long considered a safe haven for investment-savvy consumers. Birkin bags, often treated as appreciating assets, are now seeing a decline in value as the authenticity of their craftsmanship comes into question. Collectors and investors are growing wary as resale prices dip and doubts surface about the bag's true origin. If a product marketed as an artisanal French creation is mostly made in Shenzhen, does it still hold its elite value? Many are concluding that it doesn't. This sudden shift in perception is causing tremors across resale platforms and among high-end consignment boutiques, where sellers are facing difficult conversations with clients who once believed they were holding onto gold standard luxury. The trust deficit is spreading, and resellers who once touted exclusivity as a selling point are now struggling to justify the cost to increasingly skeptical buyers. Fueling the popularity of luxury items has always been strategic celebrity placements, and Hermès is no exception. Stars like Cardi B, Kylie Jenner, and numerous influencers often flaunt their Birkin collections online, leading millions to associate these bags with success and status. But many of these placements are either gifted or paid promotional stunts, not genuine purchases. Celebrities are compensated for their visibility, making these bags more about marketing than personal taste. Moreover, insiders claim that some celebrities unknowingly, or knowingly, display counterfeit versions while tagging the real brands, blurring the lines of authenticity even further. This orchestration has created a false hierarchy of wealth and taste, where luxury is less about quality and more about curated image. As consumers realize the extent of this manipulation, the aspirational allure of owning a Hermès bag begins to fade. In parallel, influencers on platforms like Instagram and TikTok are playing a key role in maintaining the illusion. Unboxing videos, luxury hauls, and hashtag bag goals posts are flooding social media, most of which are tied to brand partnerships or PR drops. These influencers often receive products for free or at steep discounts, incentivized to promote the idea that owning a luxury bag is a benchmark of success. However, as the curtain is pulled back, even these creators are facing backlash for perpetuating unattainable standards built on manipulated branding and questionable craftsmanship. Some have even admitted to showcasing high-quality dupes while tagging real brands, revealing the extent of the illusion that governs the online luxury experience. The more consumers understand this ecosystem, the more they question the legitimacy of the status symbols they once chased. Perhaps one of the most egregious aspects of Hermès' business model is the artificial scarcity it manufactures. Purchasing a Birkin bag isn't as simple as walking into a boutique. Customers must first spend thousands on scarves, belts, and shoes to earn the privilege of being offered one. This practice has created a luxury cult where buyers equate exclusivity with value. But with the recent exposure showing that these rare items are mass-produced in Chinese factories, the myth of scarcity is unraveling. It's not limited supply, it's curated access. This revelation has hit consumers hard, many of whom justified exorbitant spending based on the belief that they were acquiring something truly unique. Now, they're reevaluating whether they bought into craftsmanship or just clever marketing. The brand's aggressive legal retaliation has only amplified public skepticism. Instead of addressing the core allegations or admitting any wrongdoing, Hermès has opted to file multiple lawsuits against the whistleblowing factories, citing defamation and breach of intellectual property. But these moves are widely seen as desperate attempts to suppress the truth rather than protect trade secrets. The lawsuits send a chilling message to other potential whistleblowers and reinforce the idea that Hermès is more invested in maintaining its illusion than in reforming its practices. The optics are damaging. A billion-dollar brand suing the very people who helped build its empire, now treated as expendable liabilities. And now, with escalating US tariffs on Chinese imports, brands like Hermès face an even greater threat: exposure under legal scrutiny and financial pressure. If investigations intensify or new regulations demand transparency in sourcing and manufacturing, Hermès could find itself unable to uphold its European-made illusion. Already, global consumers are beginning to question whether they're paying for quality or just buying into a fantasy. The broader implications are clear. Luxury branding is no longer immune to accountability. As the cracks widen and the veil is lifted, the empire built on mystique and manipulation begins to falter. The genie is out of the bottle, and with public trust in question, Hermès and its peers may be facing the collapse of an illusion they can no longer defend.